Hello everyone, Mel from Stocksbridge Guitar Tech, and something a bit off the beaten track today. I want to talk about a piece of software that I now use quite extensively when I'm doing backing tracks and stuff like that. I got this for Christmas last year. My wife bought it me. It's the Arturia V6 collection of classic keyboards, analog synths, digital synths, pianos, electric pianos. Fantastic piece of software. This is what it looks like in the box. Now there's around 20 different keyboards in this package, but you can buy them individually as well. But I wanted to show you what an amazing piece of software this is. Anyone who composes their own songs or is wanting to compose their own songs and record their own songs at home will find this software extremely useful. It's a great piece of software. So let's jump in, let's have a look at the Analog Lab first. So here's the Arturia V6 collection. Absolute ton of classic keyboard emulations here. So we have two electric pianos based on the Wurlitzer and the Fender Rhodes. We have a string machine. We have an emulation of the Synclavier and the Fairlight CMI sampling synths of the 80s. We have three organ emulations, Vox Continental, Farfisa and Hammond B3. We have a piano module that gives us a number of models of pianos, grand pianos and upright pianos. And then we have quite a number of synths, about 13 or 14 synthesizer emulations. You get a detailed manual for each one of the synths, which gives you a brief history lesson on that synthesizer and also explains what all the parameters and functions do and how to use it. So even if you don't play keyboards, but it's something that you're interested into getting into, learning about synthesis, then this is a great package. We also have this Analog Lab here. Now this is like a preset browser. This takes presets from all of these other keyboards. And there are something like about 6,500 presets. Now, currently, I believe this entire package, the V6 collection, is around £370, £380, something like that, which might sound like a lot of money, but when you consider what it would cost you to actually go out and buy the hardware versions of all of these 20 keyboards, it's an absolute bargain. So let's take a look at it. So here's the Analog Lab interface. I'll just quickly go through it. So in the top left we have the name of the synth or keyboard that we're using, or module, in this case Analog Lab. We have a little down arrow here, so if we click on it, this is where we save new presets. So if I were to adjust some of these parameters on this controller now, I could save it as a new preset if it was significantly different from the original. We can also import and export presets and banks. We have a resizable window that goes from 50% all the way up to 200%. So that's very handy for when you're working inside another piece of software. And then we have an about thing here that tells you about the programmers and designers. Then here we've got a search bar. So we could search in here for bass, lead, sound effects, whatever. We've also got these tabs where we can drill down. As you can see at the minute, up here we've got 6,661 presets. Now that's a lot of presets to go through. So we can drill down by using these. So if I click on synths, we've now only got 5,800 presets, which is still a lot, but then we can drill down further by using these types and styles. So if I was only looking for example, a brass sound, I could click on brass. As you can see, I now have 201 presets. If I was looking for ensemble type brass, I could click on that ensemble, and that's narrowed my search down to 52. And if I was looking for a short brass sound, I could click on short. That's now narrowed my search down to 3 presets. So it's very easy to drill down and find the sound that you want. And we can select as many of these or as few as we like. And I'll just go back on here. To go back to seeing all the presets, we can either just deselect these, or we can just click on this clear all, and that takes us back to our entire amount of 6,600 and whatever. And then this is the preset that we're currently looking at. It's highlighted in blue. We can change how these are ordered. So here it says featured. I click on that. I can also arrange by name. That would put these in alphabetical order. And here where it says type, we can sort by type, designer, bank or instrument. This is a favourites thing, so we have a little heart here. So if I really like this sound and I wanted to put it in my favourites, I'd just click on that, and as you can see, it's now filled the heart in. So that's now in my favourites. And if I want to take it out again, I just click on it again, and it's now been taken out. Then over here we've got a bit more information on the preset. So we have the name of the preset up here. We also have it there, and we also have it there. It tells me the type or the category. So this is a bass sound. It also tells me that there. Tells me which bank this sound is stored in, the factory bank in this case, who the designer was, so who programmed the sound, and then what styles I've got assigned to it. As you can see, just got one style, simple, assigned to this particular sound. So let's just have a quick listen at the sound. Now I'm using an external keyboard here, an Ovation launch key. But you can play this keyboard with the mouse as well. But obviously it's advisable and beneficial if you do have a MIDI keyboard, or better still a MIDI controller keyboard like I have, and then you can set these parameters, these rotary controls and sliders. You can set them up so that you can control them externally, remotely from your keyboard controller, as I've done here. If you see, I can move that cut off, emphasis, LFO rate, etc. To do that, if you do have a controller keyboard or a controller, you click on this round MIDI DIN icon, and as you can see, some of these are red, a couple of them are purple, and what that means is the red ones I've already assigned, so I can unassign them now just by touching on them like I did there. I've moved that rotary, that number 1 rotary on my keyboard. It's unassigned it. So if I wanted to reassign it now, I would click on that, move it again. As you can see, it's turned red. And when I come out of there, I've got control again of that. So it's very easy to assign and unassign them. Once you've got it set up and assigned how you like it, as you can see, I've got the volume level there. I've also got these sliders assigned to my keyboard. I can then save that as a map by clicking on this down arrow. As you can see, I've already saved 2 maps, Analog Lab 1 and 2. But if I wanted to save this, I'd click on Save Current Configuration. I'd give it a name, so I could call this Analog Lab 3. And then I could save it. I'm not going to do that. And you can do that for each individual keyboard. And you can assign as many maps as you like. We can also turn this off up here if we don't need to see it. We can also turn off the keyboard up here if we don't need to see that. I'll just bring them back so that you can see what's happening. And obviously I can now control this keyboard as I'm playing the sound. Just reselect that. So great for real-time performance, either live or when you're recording, whatever. Easy to set up. Let's have a look at the next patch. As you can see, the first one, this patch is coming from this synthesizer, which is the Moog Mini. But this one is coming from the Prophet 5 synth. Let's have a listen at that. So each time you click on one of these presets, it will show you here which of the synths, organs, pianos, etc. it's coming from. So this is a Roland Jupiter 8 patch. Here we've got a Oberheim SEM. We can edit more parameters by clicking on this edit pencil here, and because I've moved some of these and edited this sound, you will notice at the top here the name of the preset now has an asterisk at the end of it. That's to let me know that I've changed this preset, so I need to save it if I want to keep it. But by clicking on here, I can adjust even more parameters because it will open up the actual synth interface. So let's just have a listen at a couple more sounds. So this is the Oberheim Matrix 12 synth. So as you can see in here, we've got all manner of things. Here we've got a piano, grand piano. Very nice piano sounds, as you can hear. Loads of different models. Here we've got an organ. This is the Hammond B3. This is a preset from there. This is the Selena string machine. This is the Fender Rhodes emulation. That's another Hammond organ. And the Selena patch, another Fender Rhodes. One thing I didn't mention, this multi up here tab allows you to combine any two of these presets and any two of the synths. That says pad, but it's actually a sequence. So yeah, by clicking on that, we can, as we see here, we've got two Yamaha CS80s, but with different patches assigned to each one. By doing this, we can split the keyboard, so we could have a bass guitar, for example, sound on the lower octave, and then an electric piano sound on the upper part, or we can layer. So for example, this is a grand piano with an ensemble sound layered on top. So another very useful feature that, and we would set that up here. If we click on this edit, we can now adjust the individual volumes for each part. We can adjust send and returns for these effects, and we can assign the keyboard range by clicking on that. We can also adjust part 1 and 2 parameters individually, so we could set up a map for this grand piano part 1 and set up a different map for this ARP as part 2. So it's another great feature of this software. We can also just scroll through these presets using these arrows up here. We can just scroll through there. So here's an ARP 2600 patch. Let's have a look for something else. Moog Modular. Just a ton of sounds. You can just have literally hours and hours of fun just going through these presets. You can also, if you want, buy more sounds, more presets by clicking on this more icon here or here. It'll take you onto the internet. Quite why you'd want to buy any more sounds when you've got all these, I've no idea. And remember, you can create your own just by twiddling a few of these rotary controls and flipping the switches. It's very, very easy to create new sounds. So that's the Analog Lab. It's a great place to start. We'll take a look at some of the other keyboards in the next part of the video. So that's today's video. I hope you found that useful. This is a great package, great piece of software. If you're interested in buying it, I'll leave a link in the description below, and I'd be very, very grateful if you're thinking of buying it, if you could use that link, and then I get paid a tiny little bit of commission from Amazon. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please join me for part 2. As ever, please subscribe to the channel and click that little bell notification so that you don't miss any future videos. I'll see you soon for part 2, where we'll have a look at some of the individual synths in the package. But that's all for today. Thank you. Bye for now.